Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Future Retirees.
Welcome back.
I'm Lenny.
And I'm Stephanie. We're so happy that you're here with us today.
I say, cool. Listen, we wanted to jump in today. We're really excited about what we're going to be talking about. I know that we've been talking a lot about emergency funds, but we'd like to tackle one of the most common money questions that we get, and that is, what is the best way to pay off debt?
That's right. So whether you're just starting your financial journey or you are trying to clean up some past decision, no judgment here. We're just happy you're joining us, and we're hoping we can kind of share some of our journey and we can do this together, tackle this debt.
Absolutely. And we've had a lot of journeys for sure. But today we specifically wanted to compare two of some of the most popular debt paying strategies. When we were introduced into debt reduction, that type of thing, we were introduced to a Snowball method and the Avalanche method. And we really wanted to kind of talk about like where that came from, what that looks like, and maybe some pros and cons about each as you begin your journey or continue your journey, whichever you're on, to financial freedom.
Yeah, so we're going to walk through some real life credit card examples so you can see some actual numbers. And by the end of the video, hopefully you'll know which works for you or which plan you want to stick with, or maybe you want to switch plans. We'll kind of discuss more about that too.
Yeah, for sure. So let's do it.
All right.
Before we jump into the nitty gritty, maybe it's good for us to step back for a minute and really talk about why having a debt reduction, paying off a debt strategy matters in the first place.
Yeah, because debt can feel overwhelming. I know for myself, getting calls from debt collectors on a Sunday when you're trying to enjoy your family, I'm not feeling it. It could be very overwhelming. Having multiple balances, trying to juggle different interest rates, minimum payments, it could be very stressful and exhausting as well.
Absolutely. Been there, done that. I think we could write the t-shirt. And also, honestly, without a plan, what usually happens is that especially if you're just doing minimum payments, you're stuck in the minimum payment limbo forever.
Yes.
So these strategies give you kind of like a structured payoff strategy, or you can get clearer direction, you can get momentum, and you can actually see the finish line of what it is that you're trying to accomplish when you're trying to clear out or get out of this American debt trap.
Yeah, so we're going to start with, you want to start with the snowball method first, which is probably the most well-known method. It's very popular. It was actually brought up by Dave Ramsey. I'm pretty sure you might have heard of him. And it's about behavior and motivation. This is how the snowball method works. You list all your debts from the smallest balance to the largest. You pay minimums on everything. Then you throw every extra dollar to the smallest balance. And once that's paid off, you roll that payment into the next debt, the next credit card that's listed. Kind of like a snowball rolling down a hill. It starts off small, and as it rolls, it gets a little bigger.
Okay, that's a good analogy.
Yeah.
So let's give kind of like a real world example if we could.
Yes.
Let's say that you have 3 credit cards. You've got, and we're not going to call no credit card names out here.
No.
You got credit card A that has a balance of, let's say, $1,000, and it has an interest rate of 22% with a minimum balance or a minimum due each month of $40. You've got credit card B that may have a $3,500 balance with an 18% interest rate with a minimum of like $90. And the third one is you would have a credit card, let's say it's $7,000 balance, 25% interest rate with a minimum due of $180. So basically you have about $500 total each month to put towards your debt.
Perfect. So with that example, with the snowball method, you would pay minimums on credit card B and C first, and then any extra goes to credit card A, even though it's not the highest interest. So once card A is gone, that $40 minimum that was due, plus your extra rolls into card B. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it's more of the way that I look at it and understand it is kind of like a psychological thing.
Yeah.
You see progress relatively quickly because you're targeting the smallest balance that you have. And it's kind of like a psychological win. Hey, I wiped out a debt.
Right.
And then it goes on to the next one.
Yeah.
So there, of course, are some pros and cons to this type of strategy. One of the pros is, again, that it's like a quick win. If you've got, in this scenario, of $1,000, you can put $100, however much it is. If you end up putting $100 extra to it to get it done quickly, you've got that momentum that I've done something and I can do this, right?
Yeah.
So it gives you like a really big sense of high motivation. Definitely is good if you feel overwhelmed or discouraged overall just about your debt situation in the first place. Being able to target that smaller balance is that pick me up that can help you sustain this journey of debt reduction.
Yeah, and the same way your motivation increases. Also, I'm thinking about how the snowball is actually rolling. It may start off a little smaller because, it's starting off small and slow. But as the debt and the ball and the snow continue to get bigger, 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 it gets faster, faster, faster. So that's kind of how I look at it. And that's kind of why I like the snowball method. That's actually my favorite method. And we'll talk more about that, but it works to me. It just seeing it get knocked out faster, that works. But it does have some cons. Like a con is usually you may pay more interest overall because the way we explained it earlier, and we'll go through this when we talk about the avalanche method, you're not knocking out the one with the highest interest. You're knocking out the one. You could starting off with the smallest balance first. So if that makes sense.
Right. That's a very good point. So really the way that I guess we could frame it in a different way maybe is that if you are motivationally challenged to start this journey, to continue the journey, the snowball method could really be incredibly effective for people like that, for people like us who just need that extra motivation to keep going, to see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yep, I agree.
So with that being said, let's transition over just a little bit to the second one, which is the avalanche method.
Okay.
And the avalanche method is more about the nuts and bolts math and efficiency, in my opinion, right? So here's how it works. It's almost the exact opposite, really, of the snowball method in the fact that you're going to list your debts from the highest interest rate to the lowest interest rate. And then you pay your minimums on everything. Always make sure that your at least bare minimum is paid off. And then with any other extra that you accumulate or receive, whichever way you do that, by saving other money, canceling out other expenses, whatever, you take that extra and you attack the debt with the highest interest rate first. And then as you attack that debt, you roll those payments that you were paying for the minimum and extra down to the next highest one as the debt disappears. And so with this one, it's not so much about the motivational or the emotional side of things. It's more of the nut and bolts, the dollars and cents spreadsheet, for lack of a better word, type of analytical way of paying things off.
Yeah, that's so true.
So let's take a look at this in another potential real world example. Let's say that you have, again, those same 3 credit cards, right? So what we're going to do is, again, we're going to take, I think it was credit card C, which was at $7,000 and had the highest amount the highest interest rate at 25%. And again, with the avalanche method, we're going to focus on card C first, even though, again, it is the biggest balance.
Right. Makes sense.
This means it's going to take a little longer to see that first paid off card. But the flip side, the good side of it is that technically you're going to be saving hundreds or even thousands of dollars in interest
Right.
over the long haul of your debt reduction journey.
Yes. Yep. So some pros with that is it saves the most money, faster overall payoff timeline, and best for a high interest debt. So if you're looking at like how much you're paying towards interest, like Lenny was saying, it really you're actually knocking out the interest first. And I just looked at one of my credit cards, and I think I'm paying about $130 of interest a month. So yeah, so that adds up. Yeah, so that really adds up. So that's the pros. What's the cons?
I guess some of the cons are, again, if you're a motivational person who likes to see results quickly,
Mhm.
uh, the avalanche method is a marathon.
Yeah,
It's not a sprint.
that's so
right?
true. Yeah.
And so there are slower emotional wins with the avalanche method.
Mhm.
And honestly, we're all human beings. Sometimes it can feel discouraging because you don't, or at least early on, because you're kind of like, I don't really see where this is going, right? I
Right.
still have this relatively high balance. Yeah, I'm making progress on it, but you're not getting that more instant gratification as
That's
you
correct.
would with the snowball method.
Yeah, it can feel a little discouraging. So for us, let's talk about our approach. So we are kind of, I'll say, a little mature pros at this because we have a total of 11 credit cards. That sounds a lot. That's not a lot, but we're going to talk about what we did and when we started and like when we started learning about that snowball and the avalanche method, we kind of like looked and did a comparison to see what would be best for us. And I want to say we tried to start with the avalanche.
Yeah.
So we took the biggest interest rate, the one with the highest interest rate first. Like I'm just giving an example. I think it was around 25%. And we put that first, but it also had a large balance too. So it to me, I lost motivation because it was looking like we was not getting that paid, and we still, of course, we were still paying our other minimums, but just trying to tackle that one with the highest interest rate, it had the highest balance. So maybe if it had one of the lower balance or mid balance with the highest interest rate, maybe it would have helped with motivation. I don't know. But we started with Avalanche and we quickly switched to Debt Snowball.
Yeah.
So out of the Debt Snowball method, we aligned everything up from lowest balance. We didn't look at the interest rate. We just went from lowest balance on up to the highest balance. So of course, that one that I just said had the highest interest rate was one of the last. So out of the 11 credit cards, we just went in order and we paid all the minimums on time. And we started paying a little more towards that first one and we worked our way down. And I am pleased to say, and I get so excited to say this. So this is like really motivational and hopefully it encourage you as well. We are now down to how many credit cards out of the 11 that we have a balance on?
You're gonna put me on the spot like that?
Yeah.
I hope just one.
Just one.
All right.
Yes, out of the 11. So this is like no calls from debt collectors.
Oh my God.
Like it's a different piece.
Yeah.
Literally. It's a different piece when you're not like trying to manage all these different bills or whatever. And just to see it on a spreadsheet, because I literally put it in a spreadsheet and see all these credit cards with a zero balance. Oh my goodness. So yeah, we down to one credit card. Like I said, even with that one, that interest rate is still pretty high and the balance is still pretty high. So we're paying like $130 of interest a month, but now we can really like throw a lot and tackle that one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And when we talk about our experience and what we've done, first of all, please don't do what we did. Don't have a lot of credit cards with a bunch of balances on them, please.
Yeah.
And as our confidence grew, what I think I will say with this is that sometimes, because I can hear people out there saying, "Oh, that doesn't make financial sense. You're paying all this interest, you're all this money in interest, da 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 da. You should have done the other way. Probably logically speaking, we probably should have. But again, where we were then, we just needed an emotional win, man. We just needed to know that we were making some kind of progress. So for us, that was the way that we had to do it. And I will say that as things progressed and we started building up and tackling more debt and getting to more zero, we actually kind of did like a both and sometimes. Like there were some instances where after we had gotten down to maybe 3-4 credit cards, we had a little more breathing room, just a little bit. We were like, hey, this isn't necessarily part of the Avalanche method, but we were like, hey, we've got a 0% balance transfer opportunity. So we would take that. I don't even want to say the interest rate on camera, but we would take that interest rate that we had at 28%, and we would do a balance transfer. Yeah, you had to pay like a transfer fee of some sort. But the amount of interest that we were saving, that was paid off, or that was, we got that back in 2 or 3 months. And we would usually get those balance transfers that were at least 12 to 18 months, nothing less than 12 months. And then when we were having, especially if they were 0%, we were just throwing everything at it, everything extra that we could to try to minimize or completely wipe out that debt by the time the balance transfer promotion had ended. And so then we would take that and, either snowball it or do another avalanche, just depending on, what was going on in our life at that time. So.
And it worked. I totally agree. That method did work, doing a hybrid, like doing 2 different methods along with that snowball. So that's, while you were saying that, it made me think we didn't start off with 11 credit cards, but some of those the $0 balance transfers, that's how we kind of gained some more credit cards along the way. But it made sense. So yes.
For sure. So I mean, that's pretty much it. I think the biggest thing that we would like to kind of just reiterate and hone in on is that you don't strictly have to choose one or the other. Again, some people may start with the Avalanche, go to Snowball, or vice versa. I think the major thing that we want to communicate is that the real enemy isn't picking one or the other. It's not picking anything at all. Doing nothing.
Right.
That is the enemy of your debt reduction strategy. And so debt payoff is really not about perfection. It's about progress. And whichever one you choose, what's really going to help you in the long run is, are you consistent in whatever strategy you choose?
I'm telling you, the peace that you get when you're like starting to pay off these credit cards and knocking them out, or not avoiding phone calls from debt collectors, it's like a totally different peace. And now that I'm there, I don't want to go back to debt. I don't want to go back. So if we can help you, hopefully this video have helped you, have encouraged you to know, like, it is a way, like whichever way you want to try, is no perfect way. Or like I said, you can start off with the debt snowball, switch to the avalanche, switch back and forth. It's just literally kind of like just looking at what's the best situation for you at that current time, and look at your budget and things like that. But yes, that sense of peace when you are not running from debt is worth it. It's definitely worth it. So while we're actually working on knocking out our last credit card, come join us, and if you have debt as well, and knock that out as well, because we do it better when we do it together.
I say who. Yes. Listen, we really thank y'all for tuning in. If you find this helpful, if you're joining the journey with us, first of all, comment down in the comment section below. We'd love to hear from you. Love to hear what's working for you. Maybe you've got a system that you're utilizing that you can share with the rest of us, so that we can all, again, grow together. And consider subscribing, hitting that like button, hit that notification, and share this information, share this channel, as we all on our own speed, in our own way, go towards that goal of being debt free
Yes.
and living our best lives in whatever way that looks like for you.
That's right.
So until the next time,
Yes.
see you when we see you.
Thank you so much. Have a
Peace.
blessed day. Bye.